Hi, everybody. Welcome to Show It Live here on showithere.com. I'm Field Denny, and this is...
I'm Elizabeth Langford. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So real quick, exciting news about Liz being here. She is actually the newest Show It member, or not newest Show It member, but newest Show It employee.
That's right. I'm so excited.
So round of applause for Liz. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
She's going to be doing awesome stuff here with Show It Live, as well as helping out with something that we've decided to call United.
Yes.
So
Love United.
She's got a lot on her plate. So reach out to her on the interwebs and welcome her to the team. We're super excited to have her here.
Thank you. So, I'm stoked. This is awesome.
Yeah,
it's thrilling.
Yeah, it'll be all right. It's worthy of putting on a bright orange hat.
It is, absolutely. And we've actually done this because Halloween is just around the corner. If you are like under the age of 10, you're like counting down the sleeps to Halloween.
Counting down the sleeps.
Right? Because that's what you do when you're a kid, especially when
that's what I do now.
Well, there you go. And we're going to have a really fun show, not on Halloween, but on October 28th. And we're going to do a little bit of trick-or-treating. We're going to invite some local showiteers to come in costume. And thank you for that.
Thank you.
Jason, we
had
first
piece of candy.
First piece of candy, yeah.
It's exciting.
So we're gonna have some trick-or-treaters come by, and we're probably gonna have them do some tricks, maybe give them some treats, and then we would love to trick-or-treat with some of you out in internet land. Yeah. So reach out to us if you've got like a super cool costume, and we'll see if we can get you on the show on October 28th, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's gonna be really good.
And if you want to swing by the mothership for this event, it'll be on October 28th. Show up in costume, trick or treat. Just to let you know, the trick is being kicked in the shin, so you should probably just say treat.
Wear some protective gear if you want to do the
hopefully you'll be a soccer player for Halloween.
That's perfect, right?
Pretty much perfect.
I love it. So I can like ditch this now?
What? I guess that's fine. If you're just gonna quit that early.
I did my hair today.
Oh, okay. Me too. It looks good, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Excellent.
So in other news, there are some other exciting things going on. There's this amazing conference called the Blink Conference.
Yes.
So the Blink Conference is happening here in Scottsdale, Arizona as well, November 6th through the 9th. And I don't want to just tell you that it's awesome. You can go to blinkconference.com and check it out. But we're also doing a giveaway.
Yes.
Yeah, we're doing a giveaway. We're going to start it actually right here on the show. To enter, it's real simple. There's actually a page here on showithere.com under Inside Showiteers, but it's also it's a featured image right now. But you can go and enter into the contest. It is for admission into the Blink Conference.
Yes, which is sold out.
Yeah,
it's already sold out. So
like
so quickly.
Yeah.
So you're actually getting like an unavailable seat that we've decided we wanted to make available to you because we want you to be there.
It'll be right up here. Scroll up. It'll be the first feature image. So highlight.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Bam.
Sweet. Field is teaching me how to use the internet.
Yes,
guys.
the internet. It's a complicated animal.
It really is.
Yeah. So, but it's 4 days.
Yep.
And a 3-night stay in the Hotel Valley Ho.
Yes, super cool, super chic.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, bring your camera. You're gonna want to photograph it
all day long. The rooms are perfect to photograph, and everything is amazing. And the conference is put on by Ike and Tosh. Ike and Tosh, they're this amazing couple from up in the Seattle area. They're from Washington. Yeah. And they do photography and motion.
Yep. And they have the most amazing video. Their promo video on their site. You guys have to go check it out.
And their daughter is internet famous.
Totally.
She's like the cutest thing under the age.
I think she might 100. Instagram.
She does. She has an Instagram. She's got I don't know if she's got the Facebooks, which is that blue box one.
Oh yeah, that with the big F thing. Yeah.
But yeah, so they're this amazing couple. They've been showiteers forever. They're super awesome people. I was actually just texting Tasha and her sister Melinda this morning, and they're just really excited to be able to offer an additional seat because it's sold out so fast. But there's only so much room. We convinced them, actually they convinced me that they had room for one more.
Awesome.
And so we were all on board. So it's
going to be great.
It's going to be a show it / Blink contest.
Yeah.
Right. So you can go to the link that Liz actually has pulled up right here on her site. It talks about what all is included. And then if you scroll to the bottom there, it'll actually have the little conference. It's going to end in 7 days. We're going to announce the winner on next week's show. So the 21st, tune in. We're going to announce the winner. But yeah, it's real simple to enter. You like the Blink conference on the Facebooks. You like Show It. If you already do those things, fantastic.
Sweet.
You just click enter.
Halfway there.
You can also get more entries by there's a program with a little bird, Twitter.
Oh,
Twitter.
The Twitter sphere.
Yeah, you use hashtags, which are real popular.
Yeah.
With the youngins these days.
Hashtag this is my lunch.
Hashtag my lunch, not your lunch. Hashtag can't stop. Hashtag won't stop. But yeah, you can enter in, so you can get up to I think 4 entries total.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then it's completely random. We draw a winner, but
that's awesome.
Lodging's included. The conference is included.
It's gonna be so much fun. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna hug you when you get there. You're gonna get big local Show It here.
Big Show It Liz Langford hug.
It's gonna be amazing. But you guys, this conference is fantastic.
Yeah.
Like you should see the presenters that are coming and just the energy that's involved in it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So we're super excited for one lucky Show It here.
Yeah, and you can check out blinkconference.com. We'll put a link on it on the bottom of the page. And check it out and see all the amazing presenters. The people they had last year, the people they have this year. It's cool. It's gonna be fantastic. So really definitely go check that out. Enter early and as often as possible, which is just 4 times, but it's pretty significant.
It is. It's really cool. It's very cool. Do you know what else is really cool?
Candy.
Candy's always really cool. I love chocolate. But last week on the show, we talked with
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I'm sorry. Yeah. We talked with Nathaniel Matnick. Is that how you say his last name?
Yep.
And Fan.
Yep.
And he created the movie Removed. And they've been doing a Kickstarter for Removed Part 2. And yesterday, they were 72 hours away from ending the Kickstarter, $10,000 short of their goal. They have surpassed their goal. It's fully funded. People are continuing to add to it. So round of applause for that. We are so stoked that Than is going to get to make part 2 of Removed. So thank you to any of you Show-It-Eers who helped support that. And you still have time. There's still like 40 hours left. And the more that they can raise, like the more they can put into that project. So we're just super excited.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Than, and your whole team.
And if you guys don't quite know exactly what we're talking about, I believe it's the Removed Film, or is it removedfilm.com?
Yes, I think removedfilm.com.
Yeah, and you can check out the video with Than from 2 weeks ago here on showithere.com. Don't do that now, because you'll leave, but you can go do that later. Check it out and be a part of it. It's amazing. Really awesome. It's incredibly moving. If you haven't cried for a while and you feel your tear ducts, to that breaking point, just go watch.
Sit on in. Takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and it will change your heart. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. So if you don't want to cry, go watch it anyways. You need to cry.
Just go get on the Kickstarter and donate. You don't have to.
Yeah. Another thing, real quick, right before we get to our amazing guests.
Yeah.
On this side of field, here on showithere.com, there's a place where you can log in. To chat. You guys can ask questions throughout because we have Jeff Shipley, and Jennifer Olmstead with us from Tonic.
Yes.
And from Tonic Design.
This is going to be so much fun.
It's going to be fantastic.
I can't wait.
So if you guys have questions, they're going to be dropping a lot of knowledge on here that can revolutionize the way that you appear on the internet.
Yes.
So definitely hop in, ask questions, and we'll make sure that they get those.
Yeah.
Yeah. So without further ado,
I think we should do this.
I think we should invite them on the show. So welcome, Jennifer and Jeff and baby
Serena.
Oh my goodness, how are you guys doing?
Oh, she's so cute.
Making her internet debut in her Show It onesie.
Yes.
To see the Show It team.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see this. It says, "I'm the newest Show-It-Eer," and she's a huge fan of the show, guys. Huge fan. Very honored to be on.
Yay! Oh, we're so excited that she chose Show It Live to make her first web show experience.
She's adorable.
But definitely a big deal. Last. I mean, probably this is just camera ready right now.
That's fantastic.
She's so happy. She's just excited to be on. I love it. That's so great.
So happy.
How old is she now? Jen, how old is Serena?
8 weeks. 8 weeks.
Yeah.
8 weeks. 8 weeks. That's a tiny baby.
Brand new.
Yeah. Well, congrats. That's such a big deal. Yeah.
Very small. But she's going to go see Dad. We just wanted to say hi.
All right. Bye, baby.
Bye, baby.
So hey guys.
Well, hey, what's going on? Welcome to the
Very happy
show.
to be here today.
Our TV is a little funky right now. It's hard to see while we're on there as well, but you guys look great, and we'll just go to this feed. Yeah, welcome. Super excited to have you guys here.
Great. We're excited to be here.
So the topic that we threw out there had to do with words and images,
Yes,
and really defining who you are on a website and how that can really make all the difference in the world.
absolutely.
Which plays really heavily into what you guys do. You guys, so you may not call yourselves this, but I call you guys awesome designers. So it's like this is Tonic. These are awesome designers. And this is what you guys do, and you guys do it unbelievably well. So we to kind of talk to you about like what the overall goal is for you guys with the Tonic sites and how you guys help people with their businesses.
You know, the funny story about Tonic is it sort of came as an idea that was sort of just we wanted to find a way to collaborate, and we didn't really know how it would shape up, and it sort of turned into something bigger than we anticipated, because we realized that there were a lot of people who wanted an awesome dynamic website, who wanted a very interactive web presence, and yet didn't really have the funds or the time to hire these crazy agencies to do so. And yet then there was on the other side of the spectrum, the really sort of boring, stale, lifeless templates. And so we wanted to kind of bridge the gap and say, hey, you can have a really custom site and a really dynamic experience for your viewer in a very stylish way. So that's kind of where Tonic came out of, is just meeting that need for the style and the personality, but also the cost of this as well.
And it honestly just allowed us to work with so many people that we wouldn't have a chance to work with otherwise. Because, you know, as Jeff and I know, and you know, Elizabeth, you can only take so many clients on. And I would love to be able to work with all the people that would like to have a great website. But I've had to, unfortunately, say, I'm sorry, no, I need to serve my clients better. And so I can't take every single person that comes. And Jeff found the same thing. So now, instead of saying, no, I'm sorry, I can't help you, go elsewhere, I hope, you know, best of luck, friend. We can say, hey, well, we can't help you do a custom site, but here, we have this great resource. We have Tonic. You're going to find something that you like. We can even help you customize it so it fits you perfectly and start there. So that's been a huge relief for us to be able to point them somewhere instead of just being like, sorry, that's about all we can offer you.
We can't help you. No, I think it's great because Show It is such a powerful platform, but this gets you sort of to the end game so much faster that you can get one of these great, amazing sites and really make it your own. But someone with an amazing design eye has helped you get that much further. For
sure, yeah. And I mean, the style groups are huge for everybody. I feel like there's this natural progression that every Show It user goes through. Style groups play a huge part of that because a lot of times they go to a Jeff Shipley or Jennifer Olmsted and they aren't to the point yet where they can do that yet, where they can get just somebody to customize a complete design for them. And so you really help with that, and your designs kind of cover lots of different brands, but you guys also do a lot of brand help with people. So when what's their goal for you guys? Let's say somebody's coming to you, even if they are doing a style group or if they're doing a custom, either way, what's the first step that you guys go through to help people really nail down their web presence?
I think one of the primary and the most important places to start is really asking the question, who's your client? Who's your target demographic? And not from just they're a 25-year-old bride for, say, a wedding photographer who's getting married to that cool guy. Like it's
very good looking.
It's more so about being specific in the sense of, why, what is it that they're trying, what are the things that you align with? How can you explore that? And so you have to ask the question, like, what's the point of finding your ideal client? You know what I mean? It's one of those things that it feels like, oh, it sounds great because then you get to work with whoever you want to work with, or, you know, you get to have fun all the time. But really what it ultimately ends up doing is allowing you to work in a way that is best for you and best for your client.
Yeah.
And so when you have the right fit and you have the right dynamic and you have similar tastes and similar aesthetic, then you find that working together isn't so much like work, and what comes out of it is so much more rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and the difference is just so striking. And I'm sure, you know, most of the photographers here know when you shoot a wedding that you just absolutely love, you go home on a high, you're editing on a high, every aspect of it, you're just so creatively energized by. And when you are working with something that probably isn't the best fit, it almost just drains the energy from you. And that's what we've found too with our clients. You know, theoretically we could design for anyone, but the process is so much more enjoyable on both sides, and the product is much better too. So I think that's why you're finding your ideal client. It's not because you're just, you know, saying no to people or you're going to hurt people's feelings. It's because ultimately it's best for the both of you, and the process is going to be better too. Right. So that's kind of where we start, is we try to identify, okay, this is why you need your ideal client. Now, what does that look like? Who is that client?
Right. No, I think that's so smart. I mean, it just really gets you right to the focus point faster. So how do you then take that? You've figured out who your ideal client is. How do you then apply that into designing your site and sort of creating a site that appeals to that ideal client?
Well,
funny you should ask.
Yeah. Well, we have some answers. Well, I think the first thing, you know, it's really hard for a lot of people to identify who their ideal client is. They just know, oh, I need to think of who my ideal client is. So the first step that we take in the design process is actually making sure that's really clear. So we asked some questions. We wrote a few things down, and we'll post these up later, guys, on the show website. But you know, how would your ideal client digest content? Is your ideal client this very thoughtful, introspective person that's going to sit down with a cup of tea and read every single bit of text on your website? Or are they super like on the go? They're product oriented. They just want a great result, and they want to know that you're reputable and professional. So that's going to change how you present your design. Where would your ideal client shop? What are they going to be drawn to in terms of aesthetics, in terms of how they present themselves? What kind of activities? Are they like super outdoorsy and activity driven outside? Are they more like urban city dwellers? And that's going to affect your design and how you present that. And then if you're a wedding photographer, what kind of wedding would they have, or what kind of values would they place on that? One of my clients who's watching, Tori Watson, was like very specific, and she was great. She's like, they'd be bohemian, they would care about like sentimental things, they might have like a handcrafted wedding dress. I mean, it was super detailed, but we know that now, and so we can make our website appeal to that person. So those are just a few ways of getting at that ideal client to start with.
Yeah, and if it's Tori's client, they may have super awesome curly hair like she does. I mean, you never know.
We work with curly haired people. That was part of the questionnaire. So it's very lifting.
Is your hair straight? No. Then you might be my client. She's so awesome. I love her hair. So real quick, just to let you Anya King is on, and she says that she is utterly and totally in love with her Tonic site. So I just thought I'd throw that out there. Like that's a pretty big shout out there. And then Joel LaCar's on as well.
So thank you, Anya. We love you too.
Joel LaCar is on as well, who's super sweet, awesome guy out in SoCal, and he's super excited because you guys are doing a site soon, cool. Like next month.
Later next month. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So we had one quick example that we wanted to talk about with one of our Tonic clients who happened to be a custom client of mine before. Yeah. And her name is Corey Lynn. And I don't know if you have her site pulled up.
Yeah.
We do.
It's up on mine.
Right now.
Yeah. Cool. So let's pull that up because I just wanted to mention her because she did a great job of kind of applying some of these questions, and she actually did it twice. And so it really illustrates the importance of, as you're going through the maturation process of your brand, keep asking yourself these questions as your business changes, because she was in Virginia to start with. she came to me with wanting something very personable, very kind of like quirky and whimsical. That was a little mid-century modern, very much her personality. And we marketed it that way. She got a great brides. And the product was awesome. But then she moved to Houston, and all of a sudden her bride and her ideal client totally changed and wasn't this like quirky, whimsical bride with like fun details. It was a little bit more high end. She knew her clients were more business-like and professional. They didn't necessarily want this like touchy-feely website. Right. And so she answered these questions again, got totally different answers, and then we applied them to her new site, which I think you guys have.
Yeah.
I don't know if the people are looking at it. Are they looking at it right now?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They can see it.
Okay.
And it's gorgeous.
It's now like super clean and modern and editorial. It highlights the fact that she loves like architectural design, clean images, and her client now is going to look at that and be like, okay, this is the person I want to work with because this is the style that I can identify with. So it was just interesting. I think it illustrates the importance of just every few years, make sure you're still presenting the content for your ideal client in case that's changed, especially if you move to a new market.
Right.
Well, and what's so cool about asking those questions and sort of getting very clear about that, even before you just start the design process, is that it allows for such clarity going into the design process that you really can kind of hold it up against that, and the design decisions become so much easier. So you always have to ask that question along the way is, does this align with who I'm trying to attract? And sort of the next step there is beyond the client, and making those decisions based on who you think they are and who your target client is you really want to help your client see you. Yeah. And so that's one of the things that I think is tricky in personal brands, which we do a lot of personal brands, which, photographers in particular kind of fall into that category where the aesthetic of the brand and the content of the website is very much built around a personality, right? Yeah. And so oftentimes you have to sort of decide, well, what parts of myself am I going to feature? And you make that decision accordingly to who you want to connect with and who that ideal client is. So for example, with Corey, she had to rethink what those things would be in response to those questions. And so along the way, she, as working with Jennifer, they're constantly holding this up next to the answers to those questions. And if they align, then it becomes so much easier to make the decisions about what content to put on.
And your design decisions too get so much easier. Right.
And so we kind of broke it down into just two areas when you're pulling together content. You're either curating what's existing, so that's pulling your portfolio, that's working with some existing reviews from your clients, that kind of stuff, and you're filtering it based on who you want to attract. Yeah. So one of my clients in DC, who I got the chance to work, not in DC, in Seattle, that I got the chance to work with, she actually moved from Chicago to Seattle. And so she really sort of embraced the Pacific Northwest aesthetic. Her name is Jordan Quinn. And
Hey, Jordan.
She's actually on a flight right now, and she's so excited to tune in later to check it out. But anyways, I had such a great time working with her because I, too, recently sort of moved to the Pacific Northwest and aligned with the Pacific Northwest aesthetic.
The flannel.
Yeah, you got the flannel on. You were listening to Pearl Jam.
You're drinking coffee, going to a fish market,
I'm super now, as you can
You're a
tell.
Seattleite.
Yeah, for real. And so anyways, one of the things that we came up against was, she had a lot of Chicago weddings in her portfolio, right? Very classic, very city weddings. And yet she really didn't want to shoot that in Seattle, and it wasn't appropriate for her demographic and the types of weddings she wanted to shoot there. So when we were curating her portfolio and we were working together in particular the homepage, there was this one image that she just loved. It was this beautiful portrait of a bride in black and white. It was gorgeous, beautifully lit, very soft, but the bride was wearing pearls. And so I said to Jordan, I was like, that's a beautiful shot. It's awesome, but it doesn't align with that Pacific Northwest aesthetic. When someone sees a bride in pearls, they think classic, refined weddings, not like a wedding out in in a barn with a rustic table and
the bride's like wearing a Native American headdress or something.
Yeah. something super, just earthy and raw and rustic is not necessary, and that's who she wanted to connect with.
Okay.
And when you look at the aesthetic of her visuals that we designed, that is in line with the portfolio as well.
Right.
Yeah.
And so curating that portfolio from the place of what are the types of weddings I want to shoot?
Right.
Who are these people that I want to photograph?
Yeah.
And who do I want to just connect with?
Right.
Who is going to be attracted to that aesthetic?
The old show what you want to shoot thing definitely applies.
Well, and this
Makes
this
sense.
comes down to the hardest thing for a lot of people is just getting the right content on their
Mhm.
site, right? We're talking about the images, they're about
Right.
me, and really, who they want to represent, like
Yeah.
who their future client should be, and that's, I think that's, wouldn't you say that's the biggest hang up with people on their sites is getting through this process?
Oh, by far, yeah. I mean, it's interesting because we have these extremely very talented, very, very able to be great writers. We have people who do social media all the time, and then writing an about section is like the worst possible thing ever.
Yeah.
It's
Because
painful.
they're faced with the challenge of like, how do I encapsulate everything about myself into like a paragraph?
Yeah.
But once you have this kind of rubric of, okay, who am I trying to attract? And then what aspects of me should I be showcasing to attract them? All of those decisions get a lot easier, because then you can ask yourself like, okay, if I want these like kind of foodie urban city dwellers, then I can put in my about section how much I love going out to restaurants on the weekends with my husband, or if I want this kind of like Pacific Northwest feel, I can talk about like how the mountains call to me in the morning, blah, 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 blah. So I think that you can start to identify some jumping off points, and then also, like we were talking about earlier, if my client is like this super busy professional in DC, I may not write like a 7-paragraph about me section. I might keep it like short to the point, professional. It's not touchy-feely. So those kind of decisions can inform and make your process a lot easier.
Well, what I love about this, and I cheated because I got to talk to you guys yesterday about this, but we were talking about specifically the super fast person DC, like that's a whole different speed of life up there. And Liz just pulled up.
Give me a better phone.
Yeah, right. Just use the large phone.
The new one.
But we were talking about Sarah Bradshaw and how her client, that's her client.
Yeah.
The super fast, busy one. They're on the train. They're, they don't have a lot of time to sit down in front of a desktop. And so you're able, I like to, plug this company that I work for, show it. You're able to do this custom, this completely custom mobile design. Yeah, it's show it. You may have heard of it.
Never.
But Jordan says that he loves seeing your happy face. Like he likes me, but
oh, hey, Jordan.
But so let's talk about that a little bit, because I think that that's key. You guys were telling us about her client's experience and where they were trying to find her, and why that's different from everybody else.
It's super interesting. We were talking about right as we did her custom site is when you guys started releasing the vertical mobile beta. And so I approached Sarah and just said, hey, I have the opportunity to use this and do a custom mobile site for you. Is that something you're interested in? There would be some additional cost involved, but I think it might be worth it. And Sarah, to her credit, was like, okay, yeah, my client's probably looking at my website on the metro in the morning on the way to work. They're going to have 10 minutes, and I need those 10 minutes to be extremely well spent.
Really
and so she
effective.
said like over 60% of her users are mobile, and they're now staying on the site. And a majority of her inquiries are even coming in on mobile because they're taking a few minutes when they have a time saying, I love your work, let's work together. And that's it. It's not this extremely long process. So I think that in that way, she was able to position her brand in a way that appealed to her client instead of losing those people because they didn't have time to review all of her website.
Yeah. No, it's fantastic. I'm looking at our mobile now, and it's quick and beautiful and easy to look at, and you can get the information that you need, and you can see where, if you're looking at this on the metro, you're not ready to like read someone's life story. You just want the quick pieces of information that you want. And then you're likely, if that's a photographer you want, you're probably going to go check it out later. you know, or maybe you're just going to directly contact them for mobile. But this is awesome. Great mobile site, guys.
You know, where you could just click next and view every single page of the website with just like one click. So it was just like boom, 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 got the picture, done, contact. That's it. So, you know, some of those decisions can be made based on that client knowledge again.
Right. And, you know, you may curate your portfolio a little bit differently too for your mobile site than you would on your desktop site.
Oh, for sure.
And so, and you may you adapt your content accordingly. And your design accordingly as well. You know, you have to just make things a little bit more streamlined, more parts down, and palatable on the go, which I think is a really cool sort of mindset shift that we've been experiencing as designers and working with our clients is, you know, it's a different experience, and it should be. It's intended to be that way. And so we're designing accordingly at Tonic and in our custom work as well. Right. And, you know, and one of the other things we kind of wanted to touch on in terms of content is that not only are you pulling from content that exists already, but sometimes you need to create the content. And so one of another client that is also based in the Pacific Northwest, Candace Hackett of Ivy and Tweed, she came to me when she just wanted to, she had another name for her business. She wanted to basically launch a new brand. And she's very crystal clear about what it is that she wanted to do and the sort of thing that even in the future too, she has a pretty good vision about it. And a very, very tight aesthetic and very, very curated approach to it. But she didn't necessarily have these like classic, preppy, super Ivy League feeling clients in her portfolio. She wasn't shooting weddings at like an old manor on the East Coast. You know, she was in, you know, she's based in Tacoma, which has that kind of aesthetic. And she realized around her that she had the brick and the ivy and these really cool gardens and stuff. So she just started shooting. She was doing style shoots. She was just working with friends. She was doing all this stuff. And she's already has a beautiful portfolio. She's an experienced photographer, but it wasn't lining up with her aesthetic, where she wanted to take her new brand. And so she shot like crazy. And even when she did all of her portraits for her about section, she's wearing plaid. She's wearing a tweed blazer. She's playing the part that's authentic to her, but is also curated and tailored and created specifically for her brand. And so you look at her about section and her Meet Candace section, and she styled these beautiful sort of, you know, overhead shots of various products that she loved, and then she wrote beautiful captions about it. And so it's just that there's a way where you can take, you know, you have to create new content, pair it with your existing portfolio pieces that work in line, and tie it all together. And that's really where the power comes in. Wouldn't you say?
And that's the coolest thing about being a photographer. We've got cameras. We can go make this content, and it doesn't have to be paralyzing to do it. You just need to get out and make it happen. But once you have a clear vision and know who your ideal client is, you know, you can go and create those things.
Cool. And I think you guys mentioned something that's huge that, I mean, we've done and we encourage people to do all the time is go out and, I mean, shoot what you want to be shooting, right? It's not just about curating your content and saying, okay, I'm going to display these weddings that I've already shot, or these events or these portraits that I've already shot because that's who I want. A year for that, because a lot of photographers have slowed down. So not only shooting that now, but planning that out to where in the spring or the fall, you know, depending on when your next shoot is, like go and get that content to display on your site.
Right. No, I love it. And we talked about that a little bit last week when we talked to Tara Petticord.
We talked about that a lot.
Yeah, which, you know, important. She said, I'm going to go out and shoot the things I want to shoot in my downtime. So that's awesome. I'm in love with this site. ivyandtweed.com. It's fantastic.
She's been on it for like half an hour.
Right. Yeah. I could just look at show it sites all day long.
So that's a customization of one of our style groups that Jeff did. So it's really cool because you can see how versatile immediately with just a few like typeface changes. And as soon as her portfolio went in and it was super cohesive and tight, all of a sudden it was like, this could have been, you know, a $10,000 custom site made exactly for her. You would never know.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool.
So powerful. That's why we love that company. I think you mentioned earlier, the Show It company.
Yes.
Yeah.
That one.
We hugely appreciate it.
powerful platform. We love it too. So as you are working with clients, either doing custom or someone's taking a style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to customize it for style group and they're going to style group and they're going to customize it.
Hey guys, sorry about that. We had a quick Paula Cole sing off that we had scheduled and we needed to get to, so we had to pause this because you don't want to hear me sing.
Yes.
But we're back with Jordan and Jeff and Jeff and Jen.
Jeff and Jen
of Tonic. I got Jordan on the brain. I apologize. He's one of my favorites. So, but yeah, the question was the strategic.
So that's good to know.
Yeah, the strategic positioning of their website. So, you talked about this briefly a little bit, but like site mapping is important and some other things. So let's get to that real quick in reference to their online presence.
Well, we like to make sure that our clients are leading their website viewers through an experience. Mm-hmm. So you don't just present a smorgasbord of options. I call it the Cheesecake Factory effect, because you get to a website, you have so many things you could click on, you don't even know what it is. Some of them are probably gross, much like the Cheesecake Factory. So you need to make it very clear what you want them to do with the options that they're being presented. And that's also, interestingly enough, going to be informed by who your ideal client is. So, example, I'll give one and Jeff can hop in too. If your client's going to be super all about the work, they're not touchy-feely, they're not necessarily looking to form a relationship, they just want to know, is this person good? Mm-hmm. Then you need to really make sure that they start with your portfolio, or have at the very beginning of your website, have some of your very best work that's going to draw them in and immediately set them at ease. Like, this is someone who I'm at least intrigued by, and now I want to know more. Whereas if you have like someone who's a little bit, your ideal client's more thoughtful, and your brand is more personality based, it's more about them getting to hang out with you to some extent, then lead with your about section. Make that super dynamic. They need to meet you and then they can see your work. Yeah. So those are kind of two dynamic differences. And then also it's about positioning yourself too. And I think Jeff can take that.
Well, I think, it's very tempting to, the reality is we're complex people. We have a lot of us have a whole bunch of different personality, character traits, all this sort of thing that you're working through, and in like taste too. Like, I like this, but I like modern, but I like rustic, and you start to feel like you can't decide what aspects of yourself you're going to showcase. And this is the part where you realize, okay, along with the curation, along with the content creation, you also just have to decide where you're going to position something. So, for example, I'll give a personal example. I'm currently working on my brand, so it's a process. But one of the things that I've realized about myself is that I tend to be a little bit more serious and sort of more like in my head, like very thoughtful, pensive, a little bit more touchy-feely and deep on the web. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where I start with people, and that's kind of the core of my personality, I would say. And then there's elements of myself, so I kind of put out this thing, and it's authentic to who I am. I'm not trying to be like super serious, and I'm not. Like that's how I think about certain things. But but I've also realized that there are parts of my personality, like my terrible sense of humor or like the funny faces and sounds I make.
So many puns.
Yeah.
So many puns.
Yeah. Just
Puns for days.
Days. And all the like cocktail jokes get real fun for me, and Jim's just like, oh gosh. But I choose to showcase that side of my personality in a different way. And so I'm not like trying to be super funny on my website, because I'm just it's like, right. But you know, you see it in my caption, my Instagram captions that take way too long to write, because I'm just, you know, want to like have fun with it and play with it. And so that's how I showcase that side of myself. And it's just, it's in where to showcase and what to leave out. Like, be like, don't tell people about your collection of garden gnomes in the garage. Like, just don't, you know?
Unless your ideal client also has a collection of garden gnomes, at which point,
well, share it. You know?
There are so
You're
many
just gonna
different
post
kinds
those
of
weddings.
So I mean, I understand. There's happy ones, there's sad ones, there's angry ones, there's ones that wear costumes. Like, I get that, Jeff. I mean, I don't have a collection, but I get that.
I'm not sure. It's starting to sound like maybe you do.
Maybe.
But I think what Jeff's saying is you're curating you too.
Yeah.
It's not just the images. It's not just the text. It's really, it's you. And that extends into social media.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like, so that it all kind of makes sense.
You mentioned this one social media that's kind of popular right now called Instagram.
Yes.
And how your Instagram is kind of an extension of you and your website, but maybe a little different than your website.
A little behind the scenes, who you are inside.
Yeah, and when we were talking yesterday, you mentioned Shar. Shar, who does this really well, in your opinion? And so give us a...
Well, Shar came to us about a year and a half ago, and she was expanding her brand. She was going from being primarily a senior and wedding photographer to really becoming like a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
And so she has this wonderful team of women who work with her, and she has a stylist on staff, she has an editor, she has like an events coordinator. So she has all of these people on her team, and they do these cool things. They have these gatherings, they have these senior parties, they have like these closet sales for all of this stuff that they're pulling throughout the season. And so one of the things that she really ramped up after we launched her new site, so she did a new site through Tonic, and then Jennifer did a custom blog for her as well to pair with her Tonic site. And she that became a huge hub for her brand.
Oh yeah.
And she began these really cool series that she does, you know, the style series, where she has like a masters of their craft, where she profiles really cool local businesses. And then she's been partnering up with them and hosting really cool events at their event and Instagramming it. And everything that she does is so beautifully in line with her aesthetic and what she's about, what they're about as a studio.
Right.
So they make really clear choices. Like, we're going to work with people who have been, you know, who are other small businesses, and they're local businesses working together.
Care about the community. You know, we're going to showcase good artisans. We love good food. We love hospitality. And so you can see that, you know, they're Instagramming like photos of these gatherings. They're Instagramming stuff at local businesses that showcase other people's work. So all of their brand feels so tied together, because there's not this disconnect where it's like, oh, well, the brand is all about hospitality and community, but then they're just basically Instagramming.
Right.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, maybe not only cat photos.
Right.
Yeah. No, I love it. I've got to follow them now.
Yep, that's the way that works.
Right.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So, and then just real quick, we're running a little late on time, but if you're helping somebody out get started, or they're going to use your the Tonic design style groups, what are the first, like a few questions that they could ask themselves to really get them started in the process, to where they can take one of your guys' style groups and completely customize it and make it something that truly represents them? What would be a couple quick questions?
Well, we typically start with some branding questions for them to know which style group to start out with. And so that a lot of those are more layout related, but the ones that are more relevant to this conversation are questions about their brand itself. So they've already kind of started to figure out their ideal client, then it's more like, okay, so if your brand was a room, what kind of room what would it be like? Would it be like warm and inviting? Is it going to be like lofty and industrial? You know, that kind of thing, because your website is your online presence. You know, that's your online living room. So what is that going to look like and feel like? So then we can kind of narrow down, okay, so if you want something that's like Caitlin James' house, that's like really, you know, fun and welcoming and hospitable, I think Phil just was there, then you might like our mint julep that has very much that feel of like warmth, and it's friendly and it's personable and it showcases the work, but it's just very tasteful. You know, and so that's one of the questions. And then we also ask again, like, if your brand was a store, you know, where would it shop? If your brand is going to shop at Anthropologie, we're going to recommend one site over another. If your brand's going to shop, you know, at, I don't know, True Religion, Eddie Bauer, Pacific Northwest, whatever. Those kind of questions start narrowing down the way that we start very quickly. So those are just a couple of the questions. Do you have any other ones that come to mind?
I think, yeah, I mean, that's really, when you have clarity about who it is that you're trying to do, I mean, what it is you're trying to do, and who you're going to work with,
Right.
then those design decisions become so much easier. And so we ask that question kind of up front, you know, and then we make the style decisions from there.
Yeah. We ask them for their ideal client description, you know, at the front end. So that's one of the things that we ask, and that's really helpful. And then a lot of it too is like, you know, where's your market? You know, who are you marketing to? How long have you been in business? Like those kind of questions are helpful as well, and that's a good place to get started. And then we also, you know, people can take a Tonic site and customize it themselves, and so we see that happen a lot. Like Anya did a great job, Anya. And then a lot of them will come to us and say, hey, we want something a little bit more tailored. We want it to be super specific to our brand, and it's not quite there yet. So that's when you get like the Charcot or the Ivy and Tweed or Jordan, where it's a little, or Corey Lynn even, where we really just kind of restyled it a little bit to be super tailored to them. So that's kind of another question is, do they need that, or do they want to just go it alone? And it's almost perfect visits.
That's awesome. Well, guys, thank you very much for being on the show today. I think that was super great. Tons of great information. If you guys have any questions out there on the internet, hit us up on Facebook. You can go to tonicsiteshop.com, and that's where you guys have all of your all of the style groups and everything that are up there for people to purchase and then customize and all that. But real quick, before we have you guys go, we play this game on the show called Would You Rather. Have you guys ever played Would You Rather?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, perfect. So there is a correct and an incorrect answer. I just want to let you know that up front. And you can ask one qualifying question. So if you're like, oh, well, does this do that or does that do that? You can ask one question and we will let you know. Just one. Sticking with our Paula Cole theme.
Okay.
Go ahead, what? Sorry.
Is it normal to just be petrified of this game at this point, or?
Yeah, you should be scared.
That's standard response.
So sticking with the Paula Cole theme, because we had the song break there. Would you rather, and this is for both of you, you're both going to be in this situation. Would you rather live in Dawson's Creek world or live in 90210 world? And like you're a character in these shows.
Maybe before my time.
Yeah, well, I may be dating myself.
They're really young.
Well, you Netflix it real quick and figure out kind of the synopsis.
Wait, is this the new 90210? Because there's a new one, right? There's a remake.
No,
we don't count that one. It doesn't. That one doesn't count.
That doesn't exist.
The real 90210.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think having seen a lot of James Van Der Beek, who plays Dawson, a lot of his like more recent stuff, and he seems to be absolutely hilarious in real life. And he has a great Twitter, which I just revealed a lot about myself right now.
Yes, you
but he does have a Twitter. I think I'd probably go Dawson's Creek because I don't know anyone from 90210, and that seems like it's it's rustic. There's a creek. It sounds nice there.
Yeah. Jeff, do you?
I would have to go for Dawson's Creek too.
Yeah, we can be together.
Mainly because, I mean,
for all of the reasons that Jen said.
Like the cute little town.
I have no idea. I've never seen an episode ever.
Maybe I wasn't allowed to watch Dawson's Creek.
I don't think I was either. There was a lot of like teenage sex.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was better for you than 90210, which my mother made me watch with her to explain to me what was happening that wasn't right.
That I've learned so much about all three of you today with this one question.
What you learned is that we were entirely too sheltered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, even though you were entirely too sheltered, you actually got the question right. So congratulations. The correct answer was Dawson's Creek. Things you didn't take into consideration. Every morning on Dawson's Creek, you wake up to the song "I Don't Want to Wait" by Paula Cole. So I mean, that's kind of the negative.
Good way to live.
I'm gonna change that if that's okay.
Yeah, the downside to 90210 was you actually live. You apparently don't know who this is, but you live as Dylan McKay, who I can't even remember that's his real name. But basically, Luke Perry's assistant.
You know everything.
You live as his assistant?
You live as his assistant / housekeeper. So you chose wisely.
Yes.
You chose
good
wisely.
choice.
Guys, thank you very much for being on the show today. So
Thanks
awesome.
for having us. Great.
And something just a little birdie may have mentioned to us that we wanted to mention to you, for those of you who are still tuned in, we may or may not be in DC together because we're working on a little something.
Oh yeah.
Coming out in about a month or so.
Yeah. So follow us on Facebook. We're working on our next collection, and you'll see some pretty things coming from us shortly.
So awesome. So awesome. Well,
Yeah.
That now I'm super excited. Like I can't wait to figure out what this is. So I'll start following you guys on Facebook, and that'll be kind of the first point of contact.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So awesome. Well, guys, thanks again for being here. I'm looking forward to whatever that is that you guys are working on together. It's going to be awesome. So thank you. And guys out there on Show It Tier land, make sure you check out the Blink Conference site.
Yes.
Blinkconference.com. Enter to win on that. Check out tonicsiteshop.com. So you guys can get in on some of their amazing style groups that they already have set up. And then check out both Jeff and Jen separately. They're amazing designers in their own right. And
follow them on Instagram.
Yeah, and then together, when they combine Tonic, it becomes magic. So definitely check them out and tune in next week.
Sweet.
Yeah, where we'll announce the winner of the Blink conference giveaway.
Yeah, like 6 days and some hours left. So get your entries in, and we'll see you next week.
For sure. All right, guys. Thanks very much. You guys have a great day. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.